Now we will discuss the topic as a part of English methodology, curriculum and textbook. So the curriculum, it was especially focused by the National Curriculum Framework 2005. So in the last class we discussed about the curriculum as a vital part, and it is talking about it is as a statement. And the same time we had discussed so many points which we are talking about the design of the curriculum and the scope of the curriculum, as well as what are the instructions which we have to follow while constructing the curriculum. So here as per National Curriculum Framework, that is the short form is NCF, National Curriculum Framework 2005, it was focused on by proposing 5 guiding principles for the curriculum development. As per National Curriculum Framework 2005, it was proposed with the 5 guiding principles for curriculum development. So in this, the first principle is guiding principle. These are guiding principles for the curriculum development. So the first guiding principle is talking about connecting knowledge to life outside the school. Connecting knowledge to the life outside the school. So here whatever the subject they learn, what type of knowledge they are learning as a part of their course or the curriculum, that should be helpful to the learner in their life and outside the school. So here the school is a miniature of the society. The school is a miniature of society. Whatever the knowledge they learn in the classroom or in the school premises, that should be applicable in their life. Then only that is the connectivity of the knowledge to life outside the school. The learned subject should be connected in their day-to-day life. Here they are learning language. Language learning should be applied in their day-to-day life to communicate their ideas, views or emotions. Then only the language learning process was completed. That was the first principle, guiding principle while constructing the or developing the curriculum. Second principle is talking about ensuring that learner shifts away from rote methods. So here age-old method, the teacher used to teach the concepts to the students or making the student to learn and making the student to getting perfect with all the topics and contents. Here that is not only the correct way to make the student to or making the curriculum development. So here the ensuring that learner shifts away from rote methods. So here whatever the methods they learn or whatever the subject they learn, repeatedly that should not be continued. Repeatedly the topic should not be, means here rote methods or the age old traditional methods. So here to make the curriculum as more effective, here as per the topic or as per the syllabus we have to change different types of methods of teaching, so that the learner is going to learn the subject in a very comfortable environment. And the next guiding principle is enriching the curriculum so that it goes beyond textbook. So here the textbook itself is giving or guiding the student or the learner, and the same time it should enrich the curriculum so that it is going beyond the textbook. So here in the textbook the concepts were introduced, in the curriculum the concepts were introduced, and along with this we have to enrich more knowledge among the students by giving more number of tasks as well as more number of activities or more number of exercises. So here these all the exercises are making the learner in enriching the subject or having command over the textbook. That is third guiding principle as per the National Curriculum Framework, especially 2005. And the next one is talking about making examinations more flexible. So here we have the system of the examinations, like at the end of the academic year or in the middle of the academic year we used to have different types of examination systems, like essays, and as well we have different formative assessments and summative assessments. So in this process the student is going to be evaluated. So what way they learn and what extent they learn, these all will be in the process of examination. So here the examination system should be made as flexible, based on their convenience they can have some adjustment and alternatives in conducting the examination. So here while conducting the examination, here all the time we should not focus on only on essay type or the short answers. to enrich more knowledge, to cover more topics, we have to focus more on the multiple choice or fill in the blanks or choose the correct answer, so that the child is going to show a lot of interest in reading each and every line in the textbook, so that it is making perfection of the textbooks, and also it is making enriching the curriculum. So here we have the flexibility of making examinations. And the next one, integrating them with the classroom life. So whatever they learn as a part of curriculum or as a part of the content or as a part of the knowledge, that should be integrated within the classroom life. These are the major 5 guiding principles as per the National Curriculum Framework 2005. So along with this, we have NCFT, National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, as per the 2009. It is also focused on especially to the teacher education. So the teacher education should prepare teachers to critically examine the textbooks and use learner centric teaching methodology. So previously we used to have teacher centric education system, means here whatever the teacher used to teach to the student, definitely the teacher rules and regulations should be followed by the student. Here no other choice for questioning of the topic or whatever the content. So here as per NCFTE 2009, the teacher education should prepare teachers to critically examine the textbooks as well as and use learner centered teaching methodology. Then only the learner centric teaching methodology is making the learner to learn with their interest. Means here all the time the child centric system is focusing on activity based or more active participation of the student and active participation of the student. Then only the learning process will be taken place. The learning process will be taken place. Instead of child centric or the learner centric education system, if we make the learner as passive listeners, definitely that is nothing but the failure of the education system. So here the teaching methodology should be based on the learner centered, not for the teacher centric education system. This was focused by National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education. And the same time, State Curriculum Framework 2011. Okay. It was focused on language outcome should be on reading and writing with understanding. So as per State Curriculum Framework, it was focused on what way the learning should be outcome, what way the learning should be come out, means here focusing on including the basic skills of language, LSRW. These SCF focused on reading and writing. So if the student had not shown any interest to understand, they can't write and they can't read. Means here the reading with comprehension and writing with comprehensive words and all those. So here the understand the concept means the learner or the student has to read the concepts in a proper way with the comprehension manner, as well as whatever they read in the textbooks or journals or articles, whatever it may be, they should be kept it in the form of writing. Then only it is considered as a proper understanding. So here the language outcome should be on reading and writing with proper understanding. If there is no proper understanding, definitely they can't read and they can't write. And the textbook should help in interaction between children and the community. So here the teacher is going to have the interaction with the students, whatever the concepts were there in the textbook, that should be delivered in a proper way to the learner. So here when the learner receives the concepts, and that concept should be applied in their day-to-day life, which is nothing but relating to or applying in the community. Means the learned concept should be applied in their day-to-day life. Applying to day-to-day life means it is nothing but applying for the community. So that is major focus by State Curriculum Framework. And the next one is as per RTE, Right to Education Act 2010. It was focused curriculum and textbooks, focused on curriculum and textbook. The development should be in consonance with the values. So the curriculum and the textbook development should be consonance with the values and enshrined in the constitution for all round development of the child. So, as per RTE, it was focused curriculum and textbook. Along with this, RTE also focused on 6 to 14 years child should be there in the school by providing free and compulsory education, and in between the age 6 to 14 year no child should not be live without the education. That was proposed by RTE also. And one more point focused by RTE is curriculum and textbook development should be in consonance with the values. So, what type of curriculum you are constructing, what type of textbook is constructing, the concept should be value oriented and enshrined in the constitution for the all round development of the child. So, here the curriculum and the textbook should provide an opportunity for the learner towards the all round development of the child. Even Mahatma Gandhi also had focused on to the education definition. Education is nothing but bringing out all round development of the child, then only that is called as the proper education. Means it should focus on the all round development, not only the academic part, not only the syllabus or curriculum part. The child should come out with their curricular as well as extracurricular and co-curricular activities, then only that is considered as the proper education, which was proposed by, opined by Mahatma Gandhi. So, here RTE, as per RTE also, it was focused on the all round development of the child is very important one. Coming to the syllabus. So, the syllabus is a specific list of teaching items. The list is very specific for the teaching items, what we have to teach, what way we have to teach. The limit is very less, it is very specific. Whereas coming to the curriculum, it is a vital concept, it is giving a statement, but here the syllabus is talking about specific list of teaching items. And the syllabus is a smaller chunk of the curriculum. Syllabus is a smaller chunk of the curriculum. Means here for our convenience, the student convenience, the syllabus is going to make as a smaller parts or the smaller chunks of the curriculum, so that the learner should not feel any difficult in learning the subject. So, the syllabus is a specific from 2 points of view. One is the level of the learner. The first specific point is talking about the level of the learner, and the next one the subject of the study. So, these are the major 2 points which we have to keep in the mind. The level of the learner is the first point, and the next one is what is the age of the student, that we have to keep in the mind, and the next one the subject of the study, what subject, whether it is consisted with the languages or mathematics or sciences, the subject of the study. So, here Widdowson and the Brumfitt had given a definition towards the syllabus in the year 1984. A syllabus is a practical thing. A syllabus is a practical thing. Why we are calling it as a practical thing? It is talking about specific point. So, the specific point is possible as a part of the implementation. So, here the syllabus is a practical thing or a public statement which is based on the concepts of language, language learning and language use. So, the syllabus is talking about the practical thing which they can use in their day to day life. It is a practical part or a public statement which is based on the concepts of language, and language learning and language use. This was opinion given by the Widdowson and Brumfitt in the year 1984. So, here they had given a flow chart which is talking about the learner description and needs, formulation of objectives, deciding on course contents, suggesting teaching strategies, evaluating the course and learners. So, this is in a flow chart. The first one is talking about identifying learner and stating their needs. So, in this we have to concentrate on the age of learners, identifying learners, stating their needs. First we have to focus on the age of learner. What is the age of the learner? Based on that it should be structured. Sociological background of the learner and economical background of the learner and the educational background. These are the major points we have to keep in the mind or we have to identify in the learners and stating their needs. So, as per the age, what are their needs? As per the sociological background, what are their needs and economic background, as well as looking into the educational background. Next one is after identification, next we are looking into the statement of the objectives. So, the statement of objectives especially focused by Richards J.C. 2003. He defined objectives as describing learning outcomes. So, Richard J.C. defined that the objectives are describing learning outcomes. Describing learning outcomes means here outcome means whenever they are required, they have to apply those learnt knowledge or learning experiences in their day-to-day life. So, here the objectives are also defined as aims and goals of the syllabus. In achieving the objective, by adding all the objective, then the goal or the aim of the syllabus was fulfilled. The achieving the objective is nothing but by combining or by achieving all the objectives, definitely it is indicated that the aim or the goal of the syllabus was achieved, it was fulfilled. So, that is about the objective. And next looking into the point is after objective we have to concentrate on the contents and their organization. What way the content should be organized and what type of content should be there. So, here the contents provide with the teaching materials. So, in the content it should provided the teaching materials. What type of teaching material is making the learner to understand the concepts in a proper way. Whether based on the topic, the teacher has to give the lecture method, or whether they can go for the different types of methods or grammar translation method, or they can go for the Dr. West method, or based on the communicative approach. Based on the topic, the teacher has to select the teaching material towards the content explanation part. And content can also be termed as a list of teaching items. So, the content is providing teaching material, as well as the content can be also termed as a list of teaching items. So, in this way we can organize the content. After content organization, next one we have to focus is suggesting teaching strategies. What type of teaching strategies we have to adopt to explain to the students in a proper way. So, the syllabus should be helpful to the classroom teachers by providing with the contents of teaching as well as teaching strategy. So, here the syllabus should be helpful to the classroom teachers. What way? Means here it should provide with contents. It should provide proper contents, and based on that it is going to be helpful for the teacher towards the teaching process as well as the teaching strategies. So, what type of strategy is comfortable or making the learner to understand the concept, that particular concept in a proper way, that should be very clear as a part of selecting the teaching strategies. And after teaching strategies, we have to opt for the evaluation. So, in this evaluation process, it is very essential part. So, the evaluation obviously is an essential process of all teaching learning situations. So, the evaluation is making the learner as well as the teacher in what extent they achieved the objectives. In what extent they achieved the objectives, and these evaluation is making the learner or the teacher whether they reached the objective or whether they achieved the goals or not as a part of the syllabus. This is also giving clarification through the evaluation process. Next, we are different types of syllabuses we used to have in the textbooks. So, in this we have grammatical syllabus, especially it is talking about the grammatical part. So, in the initial stages we have to start with the parts of speeches, and later we can enter into the types of sentences and active-wise, passive-wise. Here we have to follow certain sequence or the organization of the grammatical items. Instead of introducing all these, if we started with the active-wise, passive-wise or the different types of structures in the initial stages, it will become as a tough task to the learner in understanding the grammatical syllabus. So, here we have to follow certain sequence. And next talking about the lexical syllabus, which is talking about the vocabulary part, which is very important one, and the skill syllabus. So here by giving more number of example or by giving more number of exercises or tasks, we can develop the skill of writing or skill of speaking. What way it is going to be helpful for the learner in interacting with the others. And the functional or the notional syllabus. So whatever they learn, that should be used in their day-to-day life. Here they are learning different types of tenses, past tense, present tense and future tense. In the past tense we have different forms, present tense different forms and future tense different forms. So here whatever they learn as a part of the subject or as a part of knowledge, that should be utilized in their day-to-day life. Simply just not only listening in the classroom or writing of examinations and getting marks, that should be utilized in their day-to-day life. Then only it is going to become as a functional or the notional syllabus. Next one is content syllabus. So based on the age factor or the standard of the student, the syllabus construction should be done based on the age factor or the standard of the student is very important one in constructing the content. For example, if we look into the pre-primary section or first class or the second class student, here we have to focus more on the picture oriented in the textbook. The content should be very less with the sufficient font size by having more picture oriented. Whereas increasing the standard of the student getting into 9th class and 10th class, we have to focus more on the content part rather than the pictorial. Means here as per their age factor or the standard of the student, the interest of the student, we have to focus on content part of the syllabus. And the next one is task based syllabus. So whatever the content you are delivering to the student, that should be as a part of in achieving the tasks by giving more number of exercises or practices that should make them in achieving the tasks. So these are the different types of syllabuses. Whereas looking into the other types of syllabus design also there, in this we have horizontal syllabus. In this, in the horizontal syllabus, this is other type of syllabus design, horizontal syllabus. In this horizontal syllabus, all the students are at the same level in a class. Means here major focus is on L, S or W. We have to create in a table like L, S or W and looking into the standards. For example, in the basic stage, we have to start from the basic stage, next one intermediate stage and the last one is the advanced stage. So in the basic stage, how these listening skill they had done with the student at the same level. And coming to the speaking, so we have to show in the form of horizontal level of all the skills, that is the horizontal. Coming to vertical syllabus, so same aspects we have to look into L, S or W with the different stages like basics, intermediate and the advanced. So here once we have the listening skill, how it is going to be helpful in all the levels. If the skill was developed among the learners, definitely it is going to be affected for all the levels. And means here coming to speaking skill, how in the basic level it is and the next how it is going to be helpful for the at the advanced stage by looking into this vertical syllabus. So this is the other form of syllabus. One is the vertical syllabus, the next one is horizontal syllabus. And the next one more is linear syllabus, that is linear. Here the learners are expected to master a sequence of units, mastering sequence of units. Here the learner are expected to master a sequence of units. So in this, the progression of learning is based on the process of simple to complex, which is making the learner as more comfortable. In the linear syllabus, it is focusing on the progression of learning is based on the process of simple to complex. Simple to complex. Here the major aim of linear syllabus is master of sequencing in the expected learning outcomes. That is the major focus. So if we follow simple to complex, definitely the major aim of the linear syllabus will be accomplished. Next form of syllabus is modular syllabus. Modular syllabus. So, in this modular syllabus, it is integrating all the language skills. It is integrating all the language skills. The focus is on content rather than the form. So, these are the other forms of syllabus. In the horizontal syllabus, all the students are at the same level in a class, that is horizontal. Means here in the horizontal form we are looking into LSRW by taking all the categories of basics, intermediate level and the advanced level. And looking into the vertical syllabus, the syllabus entry and exit level are specified. The students are placed at different levels according to their skills, that is there in the vertical. Whereas coming to the linear, here it is giving a progression of learning is based on the process to from simple to complex. And the next one is talking about the modular. It is a combination of all the integrating all the language skills. So, here based on this there are 3 dimensions of language syllabus design. Language syllabus design. The first one is talking about language context, process and the product. These the language context, what exactly it is talking about and what basis it was introduced to as a part of their standard, and process, what way the language context or the syllabus should be delivered to the students in a proper manner. And next one, what is a product, what is a output, what is a result. These are the 3 dimensions of language syllabus designing part. Looking into the textbook. So, here we talk about the syllabus as well as we talk about the curriculum part. So, here these are part of the textbook. So, in the textbook development process, we have to concentrate on these areas like the content. So, the content part, teaching and learning, structure and organization, language, textbook layout. These are the major points. So, coming to the content part. So, content is based on the standards, 7th class standard or the child is in 9th or the 10th class standards. Based on that, the content should be there, having sufficient content to the learners as well as any pictorial requirement is there or any graphical representation is there, any tabular form is required. Based on that, the content should be incorporated. And the next one, how this content is going to be taught to the student. So, we have to concentrate on the teaching and learning process. What way the teacher has to teach to the student. After content part, next the teacher has to take initiation of teaching the content in a proper way, and the learner should understand the concept in a effective manner or the up to understanding level. Then only the content delivery was done in a proper way. After the teaching and learning process, the next step we have to look into that one is the structure and organization. The structure and organization is very important one, and which is giving an outlook to the content part. And after structure and organization, the language part. So, we are talking about the especially English language and what type of language should be incorporated and what type of standardization we have to maintain, and the same time based on the standard of the student, the language should be incorporated in the textbook. Based on the standard of the student, we have to incorporate the proper vocabulary in the textbook. The vocabulary is very, very important one. Initial stages we can use the simple terms or the simple sentences. Later, gradually increasing the standard of the student, we have to incorporate the proper vocabulary, and once the student having command over the vocabulary, definitely they can achieve all the 4 basic skills of the language. So, the standardization of the language or the terminology is very important one. And the next one is textbook layout. So, the textbook layout is also very important one, and it should be easily carryable by the students, and it should give nice impression to the learner as well as to the teacher in purchasing the book or by looking into the textbook. The proper quantity of the pages should be there, the cover page should be very nice, and the same time the font size and the color of the text and easily it should be handled by the student. And one more concept we have to talk about is cost of the textbook, that should be affordable by the all type of economical status of the learner. So, these are the major textbook developmental processes. So, looking into the qualities of a good textbook. So, the textbook is a first and foremost important teaching learning material to the teacher as well as to the learner. So, based on the textbook only, the teacher can have an overview of the content or the syllabus for the as per the standard of the student. So, here the textbook is very important one, and it is a very essential for the teacher as well as the learner. If there is no textbook, if there is no proper textbook, or the it is a combination of it is mixed with the syllabus. So, once we do not have textbook with us, automatically we can't prepare our period plan as well as the annual plan in a proper way, and what type of activities we have to incorporate to teach the content in a proper way. These all the clarity was missing without the textbook. So, here the textbook is a very essential and foremost TLM for the teacher as well as the learner. So, looking into the qualities of a good textbook. So, the textbook provides structure and syllabus for a program. What type of program you are doing, whether you are in what type of course you are doing. So, that is talking about the program. So, the textbook is talking about, and it is providing structure and syllabus for program for the course. It is giving structure as well as the syllabus. And next one, it adds a variety of learning resources. So, once there is a topic in the syllabus or incorporated in the textbook, based on that it is suggesting that what are the other learning resources we have, whether is there any CD forms were available, or whether is there any internet facility is there, these all the information will be available in the textbook. So, here it is giving not only the syllabus part which is limited, the extra knowledge is also available through the textbook based on the suggestions or based on the references which we can gather more related information to the students. And the next one is standardizes instruction that helps the learner. So, here the textbook major quality is standardization of the instruction that helps the learner. The standardization means here, if the first class, second class student, automatically the vocabulary and the statement of the statements of the paragraph and the textbook, that should be very simple. Whereas, increasing the standards, definitely we have to follow certain standardized instructions by introducing proper and sufficient vocabulary in the learner, so that the vocabulary is going to give more confidence in the learners. That is major part which focused by the textbook. So, and also the textbook is saving teachers time, and also it is providing information and well organized, coherent in the framework. It is giving a textbook is giving a proper time, and it is saving the teachers time, means here already the guidelines, tasks, exercises were provided in the textbook. Based on that, the teacher can have their own plan in teaching the concepts or the topics. So, and also it is providing a well organized, coherent framework based on the syllabus which was mentioned in the textbook. The teacher can plan the framework, what way they can prepare the material or what way they can prepare the TLM in a proper way. Means here it is giving an outline to the teacher in making the concept as very efficient for the learners. And also the textbook presents effective language models, so which should be incorporated in the textbook. Based on that, the learners also having their own thoughts in preparation of the different type of models or the presentations or modules, any other areas which were related for the effective language presentations. So, after that we have entering into the parts of the book. So, this is very important one. So, this is major part is the jacket, which is nothing but the cover page. Next one is first page, and the other form for this is front page, introduction or the preface, tables of contents, lessons, exercises, words introduced in the textbook, key to exercises and the blurb. So, in the parts of book, jacket, this is a cover, this is a cover page. So, here by looking into the cover page, sometimes we attract to the textbook to purchase, or sometimes we attract to pick up the book and try to read what are the headings and what it is talking about and what are the points they focused and what are the units covered in that book. So, the cover page or the jacket is having more impact on that, should be more impressive to the learners. And the next one is first page. So, after this we will once we open the textbook, the first page or the front page, focused on the front page. Next, introduction or the preface, what it is talking about, and these all very clear, and tables of the content, that is giving complete clarity of the tables, what way the data was tabulated in the textbook. And lessons, how many lessons were there, and each and every lesson we used to have one grammatical item, and after 1 or 2 lessons we used to have in a poetry part. These are very clear in the textbook. Definitely once we had picked the textbook, we are looking into all these areas. And next one is exercises. So, after completion of the lesson, definitely we need some exercises. So, based on the exercises, the student and they are ready to do or practice more number of related activities or exercises to get perfection of that particular topic. Based on the exercises, they can prepare their own sentences or preparing their own exercises, which is nothing but creating interest among the learners. And next one is words introduced in the book. So, here words introduction is, for example, here there are words introduction we can categorize while writing period plan into 2 parts. One is active words and the other one is passive words. So, active words in the lesson means already they know the meaning of that one, or previously they studied the same word in previous class or in the previous lesson they studied. Means here for these type of active words, the student, the teacher should not pay much attention, already it was known by the student. If the word is first time introduced, if it is a passive word, first time introduced in that lesson, for that we have to focus and we have to write it on the blackboard, and what is the meaning and what are the antonyms and what are the synonymous words, for that we have to make use on the blackboard, so that the student will know the other word. Means here it is making them to procure with the more vocabulary part. And key to exercises, means here what are the exercises we had given, for that also we can give some key points for that. And the last one is talking about the blurb, means here this is nothing but the back side of the textbook, that is more important. When sometimes we attracted towards this blurb also, based on the author's introduction and what way it is helpful to the student. So, sometimes without reading the whole textbook, we can say that by looking into the blurb what exactly the book is talking about. So, that much impact is having on the blurb part of the textbook. So, while writing these all the curriculum, syllabus and the textbook part, we have to focus on the discourses. So, here the discourses are very important one in achieving the academic standards. So, whatever the academic standards we are following, those are very important one, and that should be applicable in the classroom teaching. So, here the discourse of oriented teaching is talking about, it is a continuous stress of language learner than a sentence. So, the discourse is a continuous stretch of language larger than a sentence, often consisting a coherent unit. So, here the discourse is talking about, it is a continuous stretch of language learner than a sentence, and often it is talking about or consisting of a coherent unit. So, here the coherent unit, which is nothing but the related or the important unit, and also it is involving the study of both form and function of the language. So, here these discourses are helping us in study the form as well as the function of the language. So, especially we have to focus major on the achieving the academic standards of the learners. These are very important one. So while writing these writing various discourses, this helps the teacher to teach specific tasks that have to be mastered by the learner. So in the process of the writing various discourses helps the teacher to teach specific tasks. The discourses are focusing on the specific tasks that have to be mastered by the learners. So the major intention of the discourse is mastery of the content or the mastery of the specific task. So in this writing various discourses, the teacher, it is helping the teacher to teach specific tasks and the same time that have to be mastered by the learners. Once the mastery on that particular task by the learner, then the discourse was successfully completed. So in this part we are talking about the there are the important genera of written discourses. There are 3 important genera of written discourses. There are 3 important genera of written discourses. The first one is talking about descriptive genre, second one is expository genre, third one is talking about persuasive genre. These are the 3 important genera of written discourses. Coming to first one, descriptive genre. In this descriptive, the word itself is indicating description. So the descriptive writing vividly portrays a person or thing which enable the reader to visualize writer's experience. So the descriptive writing is very important one in the part of descriptive genre. So here it is focusing on a person or a thing. It is focusing on person or a thing which enable the reader to visualize writer's experience. So here it is talking about especially the style, descriptive style. What way you are expressing. For example, if is there any, for example, character in a narrative genre. So here the genre is nothing but style. What way you are narrating the story or what way you are narrating the character. This is very important one in the process of descriptive genre. So the descriptive genre is writing vividly portrays a person or a thing which enables the reader to visualize writer's experience. So based on the writer experience, here the learner is also trying to put it on paper with their own style by introducing or by explaining different characters in the story or in the poem or whatever it may be. So here it is giving description. This is talking about the descriptive genre. And the next one is talking about expository genre. So in this expository genre, it is discussing about the or it is helps to seek information or inform or explain and also giving clarity and as well as defining. So in the expository genre, these type of writing helps, seeks to inform, it is trying to seeking information or trying to give the information and explaining about that particular point or explaining about that particular incident or giving clarity about that particular incident or giving clarity about that particular situation or and defining why it happened. Means here expository genre is talking about explaining especially the cause and effects, why it happened. Means definitely we are trying to explain it, why the incident was happened, why the in the Shakespeare's the character was introduced. Automatically the student will have complete clarity on that particular incident or character or the situation. So here a cause and effect is making the learner to explain the concepts as well as giving proper clarity towards the why it happened, what may be the reasons to happen that incident, and the same time we can define based on the different situations or based on different experiences, we can define why it happened like this, we can define. And the next one, based on the cause and effect, once we come to know that, we can inform, we can give the information to others. So, this is also talking about the expository genre, which is placing, especially writing helps, seeks to inform as well as explain, giving clarity as well as giving define. So, in the descriptive genre, it is talking about the description of the what way you are describing, what style, what pattern you are describing in the descriptive genre. In coming to the expository genre is talking about cause and effects, it is talking about or it is explaining about the cause and effect. And the third type of genre is talking about persuasive genre, this is talking about persuasive genre. So, in this persuasive genre, writing intends to convenience the reader of stated opinion or belief. So, here it is trying to intends to convenience the reader of a stated opinion or a belief, especially in the persuasive genre. So, here the task example, the task could be on writing or it can be in the form of speeches. So, here it is talking about writings intend to convenience the reader or a stated opinion of a belief. So, here it is expecting the reader or the learner or the produce, those who want to give or those who want to express, it is in the form of writing or it may be in the form of speech. So, these are the three types of genre which we can follow, especially in the form of discourses. So, as we are looking into the discourse part, these are very important one while constructing the curriculum as well as in achieving the objectives. So, in achieving the objectives, we have to focus more on the achievement of the academic standards. So, the academic standards which we are looking into the reading, speaking, reading, writing and comprehensive writing and getting perfection of the grammar, proper awareness on the grammatical items and the creative writing. So, these all the areas should be focused more in the academic standards. So, here the major objective of the teacher is to make the learner to understand the concept in a proper way. So, based on this the topic, the teacher can teach the student. If they are teaching poetry, definitely the way their presentation is different. If they are teaching prose, automatically the presentation and explanation part is entire different. So, coming to the supplementary reader, again there will be a different form. Just in the supplementary, the teacher only reads, and the major concept of the supplementary reader is making the reader or the learner to know or the reading skills. It is focusing on the reading skills as well as it is focusing on the value oriented concepts also there in the supplementary reader. So, here especially there will be a lot of impact talking about the textbook. So, if the textbook is provided in a proper way by having sufficient information, the teacher can avail the textbooks which is there in the part of syllabus or the curriculum. In the textbook already the exercises or tasks or the different types of areas were focused on that. So, in this area we have to focus on the different exercises. So, every end of the lesson they used to give some exercises or the key points or the important meanings or the words. So, based on it the teacher has to give more exercises to the student in gathering more vocabulary words from the different types of reference material. So, based on that they will try to refer the dictionary or encyclopedia or thesaurus. Means here the reference skill is automatically having impact on the student in the learning process. Whereas, coming to the we can make the student to towards the study skills, note making and note taking. So, while if they attended any class of which is not related to the same subject, if they are attended any workshop or seminar, definitely we have to make the student to underline or note down the important point, so that it is these type of skills are making the students in making their own notes as well as note taking. So, these all the skills, study skills as well as reference skills are making the students having more vocabulary, and they are trying to look into read out the more number of textbooks. So, we have to make the student to have the good habit of reading textbook. So, here by looking into the quality of the good textbook, it is giving proper information to the teacher, as well as it is giving an outline to the teacher and what extent I can teach to the students. And in the textbook they used to give how many instructional hours should be there for each and every topic, so that there is no doubt about the teacher can plan on their own in introducing that concept as well as explaining to the students, and concentrating on not only the textbook activities, we can make the student to related field trips which are related for the same topic. So, within these instructional hours we have to make the student to understand the concepts in a proper way. So, the understanding the concepts are in a proper way, and the same time the learned concepts or the learnt knowledge should be available in their day to day life, then only the learning process will be considered as the fruitful. So, here by looking into the textbook is a major and essential teaching learning material to the student. So, based on this we have to concentrate on the looking into the textbook. So, if the textbook is having proper based on the needs and the necessities of the learner, definitely they will attract towards the textbook. So, these days the textbooks are very important one, especially for the learner. So, especially looking into the textbook part, it is giving an outline in what way I can bifurcate the syllabus or bifurcate the curriculum into different parts as per the standard of the student. So, what way it can incorporate it to the students. So, these all very clear to the textbook. So, here according to this looking into the textbook, we have to follow certain sequences based on the sequence and all those. So, the sequence simple to complex we have to follow, and the next one is talking about basic learning should be there with the learner, and the next one is talking about the whole part to the part teaching, and the next one is talking about the chronological learning. So, these all the different concepts which we can learn through the textbook. So, here the articulation or the subject delivery, the sequence, continuity, these all will be there in the textbook. Looking into the articulation part which we are talking about, that is more important one. So, the vertical as well as the horizontal, the vertical articulation as well as the horizontal articulation. So, looking into the vertical part of talking about, so sequence of content while constructing or while looking into the textbook part, the sequence of the content. For example, whatever the topic they studied in the 8th class English, and a sequence should be there in the 9th class. The sequence should be there in the 9th class. For example, in this 8th class they studied up to active different types of sentences, and later in the 9th class the grammatical structure can be incorporated with the active voice and passive voice and direct indirect speech also. So, that sequence we have to look into that is vertical, means here the sequence of the content and what way it is having continuity with the last class to the next class, that is the vertical. Coming to the horizontal, talking about it is interrelation among the subjects, interrelation among the subjects. In the 8th class or 9th class they are studying language, English, Telugu, social, science and mathematics. So, here what way it is having interrelation with the other subjects, what way it is having interrelation with the other subjects. For example, we are talking about the language part, English language part, and talking about the science part. So here once they understood the concept in a proper way, definitely they can utilize the concepts or understanding themes can be delivered to their friends with the same peer group by taking help of English language. Means here what way it is having interrelated. So by this there will be a continuity should be there in the textbook. So here the textbooks are very important and very essential for the learner as well as the teacher. If without textbook we can't make the student in understanding the concepts in a proper way, and the same time we can't give an assurance that what is the standard we followed up to certain class and what are the standards we have to follow for the next class. So here the continuity of the concepts and the continuity of the subjects or the theme should be misplaced or it not matched with the one class to other class or one concept to other class. And the same time once we have the textbook, at any time the student can access the textbook, so that if they have any doubts definitely they can approach the teacher and they can give clarification to the student. So the textbook is a very essential and useful teaching learning material. So as a language teacher definitely we have to carry the textbook to the class, and even we can make the student to avail the textbook while explanation is going on to the student. So based on that they will come to know how the sentences were formed and what way the teacher is exactly pronouncing the word. So that clarity will be there with the textbook. So here the textbook part is very important one, especially to teach languages. So this is the importance of English language textbook, not only the English language, importance of the textbook for all the subjects, as well as how it is interlinked with the curriculum and the textbook as well as the syllabus. So these all incorporated and finally we are calling it as the textbook. The standard of the textbook is very important one, and the same time the cost should be easily accessible by all types of educational backgrounds. That is the major quality of the textbook. And we have to look into the cover page. That should be very attractive and that should be meaningful one, and that should not look into the odd one. Means on the cover page we should not give more information on the cover page. So that should be very decent one, and the color of the cover page and the font and the text of the color should be very limited, and it must be in a position to attract the learner or the teacher to make the avail of the textbook and to refer, or in the case of purchasing the textbook. So these all the major qualities of the textbook. So the curriculum as well as the syllabus part, and which are interlinked with the textbooks. Looking into the blurb. Blurb is also one of the important aspect of the textbook. Blurb, B-L-U-R-B, blurb. This is also important one, talking about the major area of the textbook and what exactly it is there in the textbook. By looking into the blurb, we can assess or we can come to one conclusion that what exactly there in the textbook. And even sometimes the last page of the textbook they used to give the authors, those who have written the textbook and all those, they will give the biography of the authors and how many years of experience and they are from what type of background. These all the information is making the learner to make use of the textbook or avail the textbook, and it is making the learner to purchase the book. So once we have the purchasing of textbook habit, definitely we have to make the learner to read the textbook in a proper way. Thank you.